So today we're looking at this visual framework that gets right into the heavy stuff immediately.
Yeah, doesn't waste any time.
It really doesn't. It tackles the big one. What is the primary objective of life? But instead of just one answer, it actually splits the whole thing in two.
It does. The central idea is what it calls a journey to know thyself.
Okay,
But the really interesting part isn't the goal itself, It's the method.
the how.
Exactly. The argument here is you can't just think your way there. You have to walk two paths at the same time, the inward journey and the outward mirror.
But that feels like a bit of a paradox, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, when you think self-discovery, you usually think of a solitary pursuit, right?
Mm-hmm. Like going into the woods, meditating.
Exactly, shutting out all the noise.
Right.
But this framework seems to be saying that silence is only half of the equation.
It is. So let's look at that first half, the inward journey.
All right.
The visual for this part shows a person with, like, a maze and a compass inside their chest.
Great metaphor.
It really is. It suggests that who you are, your core personality, it's already in there. It's just complex.
So the idea is that personality is innate. We aren't building a character. We're sort of excavating one that's already there.
Precisely. The source calls it an inescapable and personal quest.
I like that.
The whole point is that you have to figure out the specific life you were given. You use that internal compass to navigate the maze of you.
Okay, that makes sense. But this is where I get a little stuck. If the goal is to know myself, and the maze is inside me, why does it pivot so hard to other people?
The outward mirror.
Yeah,
Well, that's the critical constraint that this whole model introduces. It basically says you cannot know yourself in a vacuum.
in isolation.
Right. I mean, think about it. If you lived completely alone, how would you even know which of your traits are unique? How would you know you're impatient if you never have to wait for anyone?
I'd have nothing to compare my behavior to. I just exist.
Exactly. The outward mirror argues that human diversity is the only thing that gives you the contrast you need for self-awareness.
You have to see people who aren't like you to understand who you are.
Mm.
The graphic for this is interesting. It's a reflection, but it's not one face. It's a crowd. It's like it's saying other people aren't just companions. They're data points.
And sometimes very abrasive data points. There's a specific phrase used here that I love. It says, we are designed to polish each other.
Polish. That implies friction.
A lot of
It
friction.
means the interaction isn't always going to be smooth.
Oh, it almost certainly won't be. Polishing requires grinding.
Right.
So the argument is that when you clash with someone or when you meet a personality that just backles you, that friction is what's actually revealing the boundaries of your own nature.
It highlights your own biases, your patience.
All of it.
Yeah.
You realize your potential because of that resistance, not despot it.
So it's a very utilitarian way to look at relationships. You need the internal quiet to read your compass.
But you need the external noise to check if the reading is accurate.
You can't just be a hermit, but you can't get lost in the crowd either.
You have to toggle between them. If you only look inward, you might just be, making it all up. If you only look outward, you lose who you are.
It definitely changes how you might think about a bad day at work. It's not just an annoyance.
It's necessary friction.
So what's the final thought for us to take away from this?
It leaves you with a pretty challenging question, I think.
Go on.
If this framework is right, and other people are essentially mirrors designed to polish us, does that change how you view the difficult people in your life? I mean, maybe they aren't obstacles to your peace of mind. Maybe. Maybe they're the only way you'll ever really get to see yourself clearly.